What's up, everybody? This is Rob Barrington from BridgeLesson.com, and I am here with the exciting finale of our February Pro-Am that we play on Bridge Base every single week. We had this leaderboard going into the final event. Here were our pros at the top, and we had a three-horse race, basically. We had Brad Moss at 44 at the top, John Hurd and Raluca Debrescu way behind, but with a big victory and maybe a falter from Brad Moss, either of these two players had a chance to win. And I have to tell you, John Hurd did everything he possibly could to get there. Take a look at this score, folks. Holy cow. 90.45 from John Hurd this past weekend. And this would have gotten him the victory of the month. He would have gotten 25 total points, but Brad needed to be 7th place or higher, and here Brad was at 6th, and that secured him the victory for the month. So here's the final leaderboard, folks. Brad had 52 with his 6th place finish. He gets to take home the top prize. John Hurd with honestly the best score we've ever seen and we may ever see in this event. We had so many people playing every week, 90.45% against a bunch of other top pros. Wow. We'll dig deeper into that results stream in just a moment. But 3rd place, Raluca Debrescu, she was just solid all month. And we just had 2 of the pros in the top 10 this week. So a lot of the amateurs were up there kind of disrupting the process. But it doesn't look like anyone was going to disrupt the 90.45% that John Hurd had. I received a message from him yesterday. He's like, "Did you finish yet?" And I'm like, yeah, I'm done. And he goes, "Okay, here it is." And he sent his 89 point something percent at that point, which is unbelievable. And against my paltry 54.7%, which I'm going to share with you in a second, that's pretty kind of, deflating, basically. Hey, yeah, you're only 37% higher than I was. Brad here needed a really good week, and he had one, 75.62%, good enough for tied for 6th, actually, here. So this is a spot where, he needed to have a really good week just to keep it on top because one player had an absolutely outstanding result here. So let's jump in and take a look at what happened on board number 1. All right, so here is board number 1, and we're going to look at it just from the best results, essentially. So let's take a jump in here and see. Here are the top results on board number 1. Somebody got to play 4 spades, but let's take a look at what a couple of the pros did that achieved the best result here. So as you can see, this hand started with our hand having a decision on what to open. And to be honest, we're always going to open one club like you saw at my table, except if you want to try to open up a little bit of variance with the robots. And let me show you about what I mean by that. Here, Brad Moss chose to open, and I believe he's right here. He chose to open 1 diamond. Now, this is a tactic to kind of get in the way of the robot, basically. And what this is it keeps them away from sometimes a fit that they have. And here, it couldn't have gone better for Brad on this first board. You see that he has 2 small diamonds and he has 3 small clubs. This is always 1 club, folks. And in fact, in realistic circles, Brad would not be doing this, right? This is a spot where he certainly doesn't want to paint the wrong picture, but he does here, right? He's trying for a large score, and he wants to try to bring in a little bit of variance, and either he's trying to avoid a diamond lead if he gets to play no trump, or in this case, he keeps the opponents away from bidding 4 diamonds. As you can see at my table, and my results weren't nearly as good as Brad and Johnny's were this past weekend, but here, they ended up bidding to 4 diamonds pretty quickly, right? If you open a club, it goes 1 diamond, your partner doubles, showing both majors, and then it goes 4 diamonds on your right, and you have to make a really tough choice, especially considering that partner's double is 6 or more points. So here, you have like a pretty ugly 12, and they have a whole bunch of diamonds. The one thing you do know is that your partner is short in the diamond suit, right? So here, if you have this auction, you're deciding what to do, and the best scores ended up bidding 4 hearts and going down 2, and you can see here's John Hurd right there, 92.4% for actually doing something, right? So over 4 diamonds, he doubled, and partner bid 4 hearts. Some players, I believe, just bid 4 hearts here as well, considering they had a double fit. You're kind of guessing here, folks, and really, most people actually let them play 4 diamonds, and if you just hold them to 4, you should get 73%. If you let them make 5, like might have happened at my table, you get a worse score. So here, even just defending 4 diamonds, which is probably your most normal play here, that's still going to get you a pretty good score of 73.1%, right? The worst scores just had down here, right? Four hearts down 3, obviously, or letting them make an over trick in 4 diamonds, which might have happened at my table, are the ways to kind of, depress your score just a little bit. But here, the tricky play of Brad Moss was on display. Not only did he get to play only 1 heart, he opened a diamond, and now the opponents aren't going to be in there with their diamond bid, and then he passed 1 heart. And notice how he's able to do that. He sees that his partner passed in the auction, right? He's a passed hand, so this 1 heart bid is no longer forcing. So he decides to bail out as low as he possibly can, and he ends up making 2 on this. So on this hand, Brad's out to a huge lead, 99.6%, although 4 hearts just going down 2 or 4 spades going down 2 for those of you who chose spades. Yeah, that's minus 100 for 92.4%. So good start to everybody here. But in reality, let's just take a look at this, guys. When it goes a club, a diamond, double, 4 diamonds, I think double is not unreasonable, right? You're hoping you're getting a plus score here, but partner bails to 4 hearts, and it's just so happened that this minus score is less than you would go minus if you let them play 4 diamonds. As you can see, 4 diamonds is going to make at least 4 usually, which is going to still be pretty reasonable for you. But those of you that actually bid on, which is not without risk, folks, think about this. Your partner only really has to have a good 6 or more. They rate to have more considering you have 12, right? Because this is a best hand tournament, but still. If you get doubled here, you're just going for a much higher number, minus 300 instead of minus 100. And now the people that are just defending 4 diamonds are getting a good result. So those of you that bid, probably a little bit aggressive in my opinion, but you were handsomely rewarded. But those of you that defended 4 diamonds and only allowed them to take allowed your side to take 3 tricks, you were going to get 73.1. So you were not far behind after this. Let's take a look at board number 2. All right, so board number 2, you have a decision right away after your right-hand opponent preempts. And let's take a look at this hand. Here's the auction that I had, which was terrible, to be honest. You can see the best results are playing some version of 4 spades over here. But take a look at this auction. It goes 2 hearts, and we double as the south player. That's pretty straightforward, right? We should have all been on the same page here. And then it goes 3 hearts double. This double here is what's called a responsive double. It's weird. I wasn't sure. In fact, I was a little confused that they would be showing 4 spades here when they could do something else with a 4-card spade holding in a good hand like this. I mean, they could just bid 4 spades. But here, a little confusing for me. I didn't know we had a spade fit, or at least I wasn't sure the robot would be playing this as showing 4+ spades. As I learned, all I need to do is just punch down on that little double and see what they're trying to say, and then 4 spades becomes a little bit more likely. Because take a look, defending 3 hearts doubled might make sense if you don't have a spade fit, but here we should know partners relatively short in hearts, and we should also be recognizing that, look at this vulnerability here. We're vulnerable. They're not. So really, these are the scores we expect to make when we have a fit and can make a game, right? So defending 3 hearts might be right once in a while, but you need to get it 4 tricks in order for that to be a correct decision. And here, you were just not able to get that enough on this hand. So here, those people that just bid 4 spades after that double, which was quite a few of you actually. 4 spades made 6 a few times. These were the top scores. There's Joe Gru's dad, Tom, right there. But here, most people were just bidding 4 spades, which if you just click on that and say, hey, partner has spades, that will make a heck of a lot more sense to you, right? So at this point, from my perspective, if I don't think they have spades here, which is honestly, I didn't even click on the double. I just assumed if they had spades, they would probably mention them. But here, when we don't have a spade fit, take a look. You're just like, hey, do I really want to play 3-no trump? Doesn't look like that's going to be successful. My partner's short in that suit, and I don't have a stopper. And do we really want to be playing in a minor suit? No. So bailing out 3 hearts doubled ends up being a terrible score because 4 spades is just so good. And making 11 tricks in 4 spades was worth 89.2%. Take a look down here. any spade bid is better than defending 3 hearts double, which some people chose to do. And we're only getting it 500 on our best day, and that's only worth 25%. So a little bit of a big swing here. Not a little bit of swing. Big swing if you decide to defend. Whereas if we just realize this is spade support, we'll be able to get to the right spot. Because think of it also this way, folks. Knowing that our hand is a solid 15 outside of a heart suit that we know partner is short in, they have values when they make that responsive double of the 3 heart bid. So here it's an easy 4 spade bid if you realize you have a fit, and let that be a lesson to you folks. Make sure you're clicking on these doubles and anything highlighted in red, because it'll tell you exactly what they're thinking, right? So lesson learned once again, folks. Don't bid too quickly and you won't be stuck with a bad score on board number 2. All right, let's take a look at number 3. All right, board 3 was, kind of just a weird hand. A lot of us played in a lower level contract for no reason other than, we just decided to bid 3 clubs rather than jump. And let me show you what I mean by that. Here's my auction, and unfortunately, after we open a diamond, it goes past a spade, 2 hearts. And we're always opening a diamond with this south hand. We have a 6-card suit, and we plan to bid this pretty aggressively. But after partner bids a spade, when we bid 3 clubs, it shows extra values, which is what I'm thinking I'm showing, and I'm hoping my partner isn't going to be passing in most of these situations. Unfortunately, they pass, right? So here, the 3 club bidders, which was most of us, to be honest. I look at, when I scroll down here, almost everybody's bidding 3 clubs and getting to play it there. Some of you are just playing in 3 diamonds, but it's a pretty normal pathway to expect. You're going to hopefully get to the right spot. You're hoping maybe partner bids some no trump. That's what I was hoping. Or make some sort of bid that we can just get to a game and take our tricks. Those players who actually decided to show extra values, and I know some of our heroes here, John Hurd was one of the people that just bid 4 clubs, right? So let's take a look at the difference here. 4 clubs shows 5+ diamonds, twice rebiddable clubs. So it shows the shape a little bit better, but it kind of oversells the values, even though 6-5 is a super powerful position here. So here, if you did jump to 4 clubs, partner bids 4 hearts for some reason. This is just some sort of, I can't even tell what they're trying to do here. Maybe they're trying to play some sort of no trump or something like that. I don't know, but you're certainly not going to do anything but just pattern your hand out here. And those players that played 5 clubs, 97.9%. Here are the rest of those players. 1 player got to play 3 no trump, making 5. That was a huge win. And that was just opening a diamond and then bidding 3 hearts, kind of what I would guess maybe would ask for a stopper by the opening bidder. And here, when the suits break evenly, you're going to take a whole bunch of tricks, unless they get to some sort of spade lead, in which case you could potentially lose the first several tricks. In fact, way more. Take a look at if it goes. I mean, you're never going to leave the ace of spades there, but that's a heck of a defense, right? If he's just plunks down the ace of spades, leads a low spade, and gets a heart through. Oops. We've lost the first 9 tricks. Sorry, partner. But here, well done by this player who took a whole bunch of risk. But honestly, most of us were just kind of playing some 3 level of a minor contract going plus 150, which is why it's 55.8% for us on the lower end of this. These guys took a ton of risk. And this was a week that risk certainly was rewarded, as John Hurd's score reflects. So here, I would say the most normal auction was probably the auction I had at my table, where it went a diamond, a spade, 2 hearts, 3 clubs, right? You're just going to be natural here, make the bid that makes the most sense, and try to get to your best spot. And unfortunately, partner passes. So let's take a look at board number 4 next. All right, so board number 4 was a contract that honestly most of the pros just play 3 no trump, to be honest. And it's because of the way we're going to treat these sorts of hands. And let me show you what I mean. This is a crazy 6-5 hand. In fact, there were a lot of crazy hands this past weekend. Let's jump in. In fact, if I remember correctly, this was the first of 2 6-5 hands that we had. Here's my auction, and I think it's pretty normal, to be honest. We're going to start by opening a diamond, folks. We're 6-5. We do not, even though this hand is very strong, it is not usually going to be correct to open this two clubs, right? Because you're going to need a little bit of room to describe both of your suits. And by opening two clubs, you haven't started by describing your hand the best way, because it's almost always going to go two clubs, two diamonds. And now what are you going to do? Well, you're already at the 3 level before you've actually put your first suit out there, or you might just bid 2 hearts and distort the shape of your hand in that spot. So here, I think it's very important to open a diamond. If you opened a heart, you actually had a pretty easy auction because partner raises, and then you can key card and do something like that with this sort of hand. But here, I think the most normal auction, you'll notice this is what I did, and this is what John Hurd did. And even with only getting 65.2% for this result, this is a spot where, you know, we just get to the right spot. 1 diamond, our partner bids a spade, we bid 2 hearts, right? That's our reverse. It is forcing for at least 1 round. And then here's the issue. When it goes 2 spades by North, when we bid 3 hearts, this should be 6-5, right? So partner should know that we have 6 diamonds and 5 hearts, but unfortunately they bid 3 no trump here, which is kind of weird, right? They're in my book supposed to be denying a fit for hearts, because they should know we have 11 cards and 2 suits, and here they have a very good hand for hearts, right? So at this point, the robot kind of lets us down and bids 3 no trump, and here we can only take 12 tricks. Those of you that opened something differently maybe got to play in your slam, which is amazing. Here you get to play 6 hearts, and as long as hearts are dividing relatively evenly and you can take care of the diamond suit as well, you're going to be just fine. And as you see, the best scores up here with 6 hearts making 6, but I think most of the best pros were playing 3 no trump on this hand, folks, because we're supposed to open a diamond with this hand. We do not open a heart, and opening 2 clubs just is going to chew up too much bidding room for you to be able to handle this. Now, I mean, there are times where you just have to open 2 clubs. Your hand is just way too strong and you don't want to miss a slam, and this, you know, this is close to that. But the problem is when you're 6-5, and then also just think about this, when you're 6-5, you need the room to describe that shape, but also how likely is it, do you think, you're not going to get a call on the way back, right? If you choose to not open 2 clubs with this hand, which is wrong in my opinion, when you open 1 diamond, how often do you think it's going to go all pass? I mean, with 11 cards in the red suits, almost never, right? And especially in a realistic game. So here, don't worry about not having another call. The hand is so misshapen that someone's going to be bidding something, and you'll have a chance to bid hearts aggressively on the next time. You want to be very aggressive with this hand. It's super strong, but you don't have to open 2 clubs to do that. You're going to I would say close to certain you're going to have another call that you're going to be able to describe. And here our partner just kind of lets us down by bidding 3 no trump. We think it's a misfit, right? We're hoping we get to a spot where we're lucky to take 9. Unfortunately, as we see very quickly, we just rip off 12 tricks. In fact, we're lucky to take 12 tricks and no trump. They did not actually lead their spades on this hand. So we get to take the ace of clubs, all 6 diamonds, all 5 hearts, and that's 12. And we leave them with 1 trick. Notice in 6 hearts, it's much better. Obviously, they can only cash 1 spade, and plus 1430 is good. Someone else got to play 6 diamonds. Good job. You did very well on this board. But in reality, guys, open a diamond and rebid hearts twice. That's how you show 6-5. And you would do that with even less of a hand. Take the queen of diamonds away. I would still do this with the south player's hand, right? That's how strong the position is. 6-5s. Come alive. All right, let's see number 5. All right, so number 5 is where I stepped out of reality for a few boards here. And let me tell you why. Let me show you what I did at my table. So I kind of made the weird call of just jumping the 3 no trump over 1 club. And here's why. My results so far in this tournament were pretty brutal. I had already played 3 clubs on a hand where I know I can make game, where I just rebid my club suit my partner passed. I also knew that the first hand I missed a good major suit game that everyone was going to be playing in. So here, this is the time where I go a little bit out of whack values-wise and shape-wise. The best way to bid this hand is just to respond 1 spade, right? Right away, right? Yeah, you don't fail to show your 4-card major. And to be honest, after you do that, partner's going to bid a no trump, and you're going to bid 3 no trump, and you're just going to play it there anyway. Partner is limiting their hand to 12 to 14. So I would guess most people were playing in the north player. Here's a normal auction. A club, a spade, a no trump, 3 no trump. I chose to just bid 3 no trump. Because I wanted some variance, right? I want to see a little bit of variance on this hand and be able to play this maybe from the other side of the table. You can see another example. Who's this down here? That is someone else just jumping to 3 no trump, no one we know. This is someone playing in 3 no trump making 6 and 4 no trump making 6. But honestly, most of the field was in some number of no trump making 11 tricks, which is about the limit of this hand, folks. I'm going to show you quickly how I played it. The opening lead was a spade, and that just gives us a nice free finesse right here. And as you can see, this is a pretty friendly hand, folks. We have the spade suit that's going to divide evenly. The club suit's going to provide 4 tricks on this hand. And what is the suit we need to look for extra tricks in? Well, it's the heart suit, right? So here, I kind of started the hearts right away, and I played it in an unorthodox sort of way. I'm playing the jack of hearts to make them think, hey, I'm taking a weird finesse with jack 10. And here we can see we solve the spade suit entirely here. And it goes spade, spade, spade. And now we're going to test out what's going on in clubs. After we see that that's dividing evenly, now we just have an embarrassment of riches over here. And we're just going to let them pitch cards away, right? We're going to play winners, easy plays for us. And here, when we cash this spade, right, we decide to pitch a diamond. And now we're hoping that hearts are breaking evenly here. If hearts are breaking evenly, we're going to be all set. And if not, oh well, we'll take the 11 tricks that we have coming to us, and that's about all we had on this particular hand. Now, if you were higher than 3 no trump, you made a really bad mistake and came out smelling like a rose. Here, most of you were just in 3 no trump, taking 11 tricks, and that was worth 86.2%. Look at that. All over the place. And here's where I am not upset, by the way, to get an 86.2% whenever I see this here. I'm very happy about that. However, I wished, that my 3 no trump bid either produced an extra trick or got me to a contract that the rest of the field wasn't going to be in. And now my 86 becomes one of those 99s up there. And that's why we do weird stuff like this. And I will tell you, this is absolutely weird, folks. You're absolutely supposed to bid a spade. This is supposed to be your auction. And if you had this auction, you were either making a mistake or you were taking a calculated risk like mine. I had nothing less to lose. Excuse me if I can speak. I had nothing left to lose at this particular point in the session, guys. I know I'm way behind, so I'm trying to gain. And here, I just gained by taking the right amount of tricks, right? And at this point, I'm wondering, what did they lead against this contract? Did they lead a heart here? Let's see. Next card. Okay, they lead a diamond, which is actually tough for you. Right, so at this point, this is the robot play. Abir Hassan did very well on this board. They get the robot to cover, and then I believe they probably get out without having to deal. Yeah, there's the diamond right there. They cash their king of diamonds from that side of the table after they get in with the heart, and now they can't hurt you from that side of the table. Nice. See, I wished that playing it from my side would have done something better, but, I can't really win them all here. And I mean, never going to be upset about getting a reasonable score here of 86. Let's jump into board number 6. All right, now we have to share two sides of the coin. We're going to show you what Johnny Hurd did, the eventual victor of this week, but not the victor of the month, and what Brad Moss did on board number 6, and they are wildly different. Let's take a look at Johnny first. Here is board 6 from John's perspective. So honestly, this was a spot where Hurd opened exactly what I did here. He opened 1 no trump with this hand. This is worth an upgrade, folks. This is a solid 14, and I would upgrade it to 15 here, and that is our no trump opening bid. A lot of the players were opening 1 no trump down here, and we're only making 5, whereas some of the other players that were just opening a heart in the middle here were actually taking more tricks in their contract. But the best of all worlds was seen by Johnny here. He opened a no trump, and it went 3 no trump. And that's the auction that the rest of us that opened 1 no trump had, right? 1 no trump, 3 no trump. It's just John played it 1 trick better than we did here. And it goes queen of spades on the opening lead. And he ducked it here. And here, you're just kind of delaying your choice on this particular deal. And honestly, you have to be really loathing your existence at this point on this hand, because in this spot, you're kind of like, hey, I could probably make more tricks in hearts if they're going to take a whole bunch of spade tricks. But here, they switch, right? They switch to the 10 of diamonds. And at this point, escaping with our lives. Now comes the 10 of hearts. It goes low, low, low. And then we see that 9 get played. So we kind of might have an idea what's happening here. And the 8 gets to keep that play in dummy, folks. Notice the the way we're playing it here. Once that 9 gets felled, now we don't have to waste an entry to get back over to that dummy to take this heart finesse once again. And take a look at what happens. He plays another heart to the jack, and then the ace of hearts pitching a club. And now, what did the robots do here? They pitched a spade at this point. And now it goes diamond, and here comes this diamond solution, right? We're counting there. We know this 7 of diamonds is good. So now righty must have pitched a club here. Yeah, there it is, folks. This is a pseudo squeeze at this point. If righty just pitches a spade, Herdman has to lose a club or a spade at some point in this hand, but they actually do him one trick better. They pitch that club, and now he just plays a club to the ace, the king, and the deuce of clubs takes their 12th trick. Wow, right? Well done by Johnny. Now, let's take a look at the legend Brad Moss here. Brad goes super deep game on this one. He opens a diamond, and it goes 1 spade on his left, 2 spades by partner. Now, I don't know. This could have been a misclick, right? Brad could have just opened a diamond and accidentally clicked a diamond rather hard. But I think this was more Brad operating, trying to kind of keep a good score. I don't know if Brad had heard the rumors of John's 90% game and was trying to get extra score here. But here he takes a really weird pathway to the top of the same mountain on this hand, which is 3-no trump making 6. And take a look. He avoids a spade lead altogether because West, by the way, thinks, and let's go back to this, West, the robot, thinks Brad has the spade stopper, right? So he doesn't want to lead away from his spade position. He wants to try to get partner in to lead a spade through. And now Brad has pretty much set up a nice tempo on this hand. And let's see, does he play it the same way? Diamond to the ace. Here comes the 10 of hearts. He noticed the 9 here. Ooh, he just plays a heart to the queen. And now he just plays a diamond back and takes a finesse, knowing he has at least 1 entry there. And there it goes, folks. Here he is pitching a spade over there. Does he lead a spade towards the dummy at this point? Yeah, there it is, folks. He's creating his 12th trick right now. Now he knows the ace of spades is over to his left. So boom, there it is. Wow. 2 excellent players, one going super, super deep game by opening a diamond and kind of suppressing his 5-card heart suit. The other one making kind of the more normal pathway to the top of the mountain by opening 1-no trump. I was in 3-no trump playing it 1 trick less stellar, right? Most of us that opened 1-no trump, which I think is the best opening bid for this hand. I think you're just going to upgrade this always to an opening no trump bid. And you can see so many of you that either play a bunch of robot tournaments and or are watching us on Wednesday mornings. Look at how many people are upgrading this to the 1-no trump bid, and here you just get to go 1-no, 3-no. And unfortunately, if you don't play it for 12 tricks, you only get 56.8. Whereas if you take 12 winners on this one, you get 99.1%. Man, this is where Brad and John both kind of really stepped up their game in these last few boards. And I think at this point, especially John Hurd probably knew he was having a monster, right? So he's trying to keep that going and get the best score possible. And notice, folks, before this week, everyone knew Brad had a huge lead. So they really need to get near or top of the leaderboard and have Brad falter to have a chance. And that's why you see all these pros going for it. Let's take a look at the last 2 boards that they had. So the second to last board provided some fun auctions, and this was a huge choice as to how we handle this particular hand on board 7. Let's jump in and take a peek. So Johnny Hurd and Brad Moss had the exact same auction. This is, again, the classic robot ploy that Brad used on board number 1. John used here as well. He opened 1 diamond, trying to kind of dissuade the opponents from leading diamonds against no trump. And here's what we know, folks. If we plan to open a diamond with this hand, we are clearly going to be upgrading this to like an 18, 19 point hand. I opened 1-no trump and just got to play 3-no trump on this hand. And that was a choice, right? This hand is really strong. I mean, it's not necessarily strong enough as 18-19, but it's also could be a lot stronger if we find a fit than our opening 1-no trump of 15-17. And the shape is kind of weird. It's 5-4-2-2. So a lot of the players that chose not to open this 1-no trump decided to do something different. Here, I think if you're going to treat this as kind of an extra value hand, you're not going to necessarily want to reverse. You're going to want to treat this as like an 18-19 like we see here, and I'll show you. Here's Brad's contract here. 1 diamond by South. Again, the opposite minor ploy, knowing that they plan to bid 2 no trump, right? And they're doing this for tactical reasons. They don't want a diamond lead, and maybe they get either a heart lead and or a club lead against their no trump contract. And on this auction, the robot does their dirty work for you, right? If you rebid 2 no trump, partner just bids 4 clubs, which is the unbelievable, unheard of Gerber, right? I start asking for aces, and then you just show your number of aces here, which is your 3 card, your 3 aces, and partner just puts you in 6 no trump, and now you have to take the requisite number of tricks. 6 no trump making 7 was worth 99.1%, and here the rest of you, if you opened a club and you reversed, at some point the robot also just bids a slam for you, right? So here, for those of you that decided to open a suit, whichever pathway you took, your partner just bids a slam. And this is David Roberts right here. Good stuff right there. I was down here on the further side, and here some of you get to play 6 spades. Here, you just want to be bidding 2 no trump after it gets back to you there, and I think that's why most people are just getting to 6 no trump after 2 spades. But here, the rest of us were just kind of playing some version of 3 no trump. If you open a no trump, they transfer to spades, and then they get you to 3 no trump. And here, if you were in 6, you got somewhere in the neighborhood of 94 up to 99 if you took all 13 tricks. And if you were below that, you were still above average. If you were just making 6 or 7, you were going to do okay. In fact, if you take all 13 tricks, even if you're only in 3, you're getting a very nice 81.1%. And here's Chris Willinkin. Same auction that I had. He just takes 1 more trick here, and we'll notice where that is. This is how we're taking 13 at Chris's table. There goes the club. And there we take that spade finesse. If we guess that spade suit correctly, it is all systems go. And at this point, once spades divide evenly, it's easy to make at that point. And then clubs are behaving as well. So tons of tricks on this hand available. Getting to slam was a huge victory, but it could have been laced with disaster as well from time to time. And again, the aggression and honestly the counterintuitive bids by the pros this week were very effective. Now, you will have noticed from time to time, Brad is at like 51%, and maybe John is as well sometimes. And that's because sometimes these choices go absolutely the wrong way for you. Sometimes they just raise your minor suit and you're just stuck somewhere where no other player is going to be, and you're getting punished for it. So as much as you can be rewarded, you can also be devastatingly punished on hands like this. Here, it was a very good week for these types of bids. And let's take a look at the ultimate board, board number 8 here, and a wrap up of the victory for Johnny Hurd this past week. So board 8's a weird one. You can go a bunch of different routes to bidding this hand. I'll show you what I did at my table here. I actually chose to just open a diamond, and when my partner bid a heart, I chose to rebid 2 no trump. And I get about 59.5% for playing in 3 no trump, and honestly not taking as many tricks as I possibly could here. But as you can see, you have quite a few losers on this hand, which is why it's pretty amazing that some people actually got to play and not only making more tricks than 3 no trump, but some people, including our winner, got to play at the 6th level on this hand, and they get ridiculously lucky once again. So this was the hand that, honestly, I bet you if Herdman could have it back, he would not want to be in 6 no trump, especially once he sees that dummy. But they give him an opportunity to take 12 tricks, and he takes it and takes home a 90% score. And this is kind of what you need. You need to either get really lucky with the cards or just really lucky with them not taking the tricks that they have in certain contracts. I chose to treat it as like 18-19 balance, but again, this is a super strong hand, right? Especially if partner has, if your King of Hearts isn't totally wasted, which it isn't. But here, Johnny probably knows he's having a really good session, and he wants to just take it home. So he opens 2 no trump, and then it goes 3 diamonds, transfer to 3 hearts. By the way, that's like Murphy's Law, folks. When you decide to open 2 no with a singleton and a major, you can almost be guaranteed partner transfers. And then 4 clubs was probably just natural-ish, yeah. And Johnny just tries to sign off in 4 no trump, and North's like, yeah, let's just play slam, right? So we're in a terrible, terrible slam, but here comes a club club lead. Okay, let's hope that this is working entirely for us. And it goes king of hearts on blocking, and now he has to go for the gusto, right? He has to play the ace of clubs, 10 of clubs pitching a spade, ace of hearts pitching a spade, and now he has to play for this diamond position to be right. And to be honest, it is absolutely wrong. But what happens here? Well, it goes low spade, and they think that he has a spade for some reason. They duck it to the queen, and now the diamond suit just runs from there for plus 990. That is ridiculous. How did that happen, folks? How did it happen? Amazing. Obviously should probably be close to a zero. You see all these 99.5s, they should be zeros, right? There should be the only three people going down in that contract, but the rest of us were just playing some version of 3-note trump, usually making 4. If you made 5, just in 3-note trump making 5 would be worth 460. So let this be a lesson to you, folks. You do not need to be bidding this much. And in fact, it's not, if you choose to over evaluate your hand and open 2-note trump, the robot's going to do it for you, which is again what we talked about. When you decide to do weird stuff like this, you're usually going to be punished or rewarded, right? And to be honest, this was a time where you opened up yourself for severe punishment, and they decided to just do something completely weird, and you came out smelling like a rose. But here, you didn't need to be that good. You just needed to be in 3-note trump making 5 instead for 92.4%. At my table, you'll notice that with a normal auction, it goes heart lead. And now after cashing some clubs, you kind of have to make the decision, hey, do I really want to cash everything? And here, if you cash the 10 of clubs, do you pitch a spade? Do you hope that this is going well or poorly for you? Here, discretion was the better part of valor for me on this one. I decided to just leave these cards out here so I had some stoppers. And now I just get to take the rest from that point. So it's a scary hand, right? When you go back to this, watch what happens. After they lead a heart, okay, well, I'm lacking at least another entry over there. Now I can play the ace of clubs, but what do I pitch on the 10 of clubs? If I pitch a spade, now I'm committed to cashing the ace of hearts as well, pitching another spade and hoping the diamond finesse wins and they break evenly. And that's a match point decision. I chose to go in the opposite direction. I chose to play safely as possible, knowing that people that might be going for the gusto on the last hand might get punished for it. Unfortunately, we saw that wasn't happening on this one. But here, I just decided to play the queen of diamonds. If it wins, I'm hoping it holds, to be honest, and then I can cash the ace of hearts and the 10 of clubs. But here, when it loses, right, now I just am safe, at least, right? And when they cash their 2 spades, that's the best they can do. And now I have safety on this hand. So here, honestly, I think that's probably our best choice right there, to be a little safe on this last one, the way the cards were laying. But who is going to predict that they're just going to give you that extra spade trick if you really go for the gusto, which if you're in 6, you have to, right? There's only one way to play it. So congratulations to our good friend John Hurd. He almost got the victory over Brad, but it just didn't have enough at the end, folks. So board number 8 was a huge win for him, getting over 90%. And honestly, that is a score that may not be broken for a long time. So here, congrats to John Hurd for the best score we've ever seen in this event. And congrats to Brad Moss for an amazing month of February. Super consistently excellent results. And a victory and a second place got him out to a huge lead. And then 6th kept him just that much further ahead than the victor this week. So great job, everybody, and we'll see you again next month.